Welcome back, folks. My name's Shane. You're listening to the beautiful tones here of the Hotone Verbera. This is a Convolution reverb. So I'm a Verbera of good news today because this particular unit does a whole lot of things really well. Now in the box, we get the pedal and we also get a provided power supply, which is on the floor here. And this is a 9-volt, 1-amp power supply. And I live in Australia and they provided the correct attachment. So this is great news. Odds are if you live in other parts of the world, you'll get the attachment that's appropriate for your socket on the wall. The build quality on the Verbera is excellent. We get a metal construction here and it has no sharp edges. It feels like a really high quality product, very similar in its feel to like a Strymon pedal. If you've ever seen those, it has a similar type of feel. The buttons, dials, and everything else all feel really high quality. Let me give you a quick rundown of what this can do. So we get 200 reverb settings, and you might think, man, what do you do with 200 reverb settings? Well, you can do even more than that because we get 120 impulse responses that we can blend in combination with the reverb, and then you can set the mix depth and all the rest of the parameters according to your ear and particular preference. So this will do a whole lot. It will simulate rooms. It will give you all the classic reverbs like spring, and I'll showcase a few of those in this video as well. But it allows you to really dial in a sound that you won't be able to get just from a standard reverb pedal, for example, or an amp. You can take this to completely new places, which is really wild. Another cool feature with the Verbera is you can hook it up to your computer, and I'll just quickly show you the software on screen here. And this allows you to manage your presets here, or you can export a preset. You can also manage your IRs, and say for example you don't need all of these or you just can't stand one, you can click on it, right click it and go delete. So you can get rid of stuff. You're not just forced to kind of keep it all in here, which is really cool. Now you can see that down the bottom here our capacity is 0.51 gig of 7.28 gigabytes. So if you want to capture your own reverb IRs with this, you can do so, and then you can store them directly in the pedal and it will keep a track of how much storage is going on. Now from the settings menu here, you can change a few of the options with the software, but the cool thing is here, the firmware update process was nice and simple. Once you download the firmware zip file, you just extract the bin file to wherever you want on your computer, and you can hit this open button and go update. And I'm already on the most recent firmware. I did this before shooting the video and it worked 100% perfectly. So that's great. And all of this software feels finished. You know, sometimes I get to test stuff like this and it doesn't quite feel finished, or you're waiting for the next version. This just works, so no problems at all. At the time of producing this video, the Hotone Verbera comes in at $299 US, or around 595 Australian dollars. And given that it can do everything, you can make your mind up if you think that is great value or not. But personally, I think it's a great value pedal considering it does everything. And it also allows you to capture your own reverb tones if there's something that you really like. So that's really cool. Before we get into it, a massive thanks to the folks at Hotone for sending this out and sponsoring this video. I'll leave timestamps below to different sections. So if you just want to know what the decay control does or anything else on the pedal, you can find that down in the description box. Here we go. Let me give you a quick rundown of how this works. So by default, when you power it up, it will look like this. Now there's a few different foot switch modes which bring in different options, but by default, if they're both lit up in orange or yellowy sort of color here, you can cycle through the presets just by using these switches. And that's really easy. Now, if you want, you can also use this dial. It will bring you through the presets, which is really cool. If you want to go back, you can go back any number of ways like this. Now to get the effect off and then have it in on-off mode, you have to hit both of these buttons, and now the effect is off. Have a listen. To turn it on, it's a beautiful sound, but there's another trick that this allows you to do in combination with the impulse response. So on the right hand side of the pedal over here, there's a freeze option which allows you to play a chord, for example. It will use the impulse response sound to basically lock that into place or freeze it, and then you can kind of jam over it. Let's have a listen. That's pretty wild. Let us know what you think of that feature. I really dig it. Now, the cool thing with this pedal is it has so much customizability. Customizability? Anyway, so it allows you to basically change the impulse response, change the reverb sound, all that kind of stuff. So I'll give you a quick rundown of the rest of what the dials do, and then we'll just get stuck into some tones. So here we go. I'm over to a spring reverb for this because I want to also showcase that it's not just an ambient style reverb pedal. So by default, we've got everything lit up in orange that we can modify for this particular preset. And now if I hit the Alt menu button, it's going to bring up different options in blue. We'll get to that in a moment, but this is the spring reverb. Now that might be a little bit too aggressive, so we can bring the mix down. So we're going to get more of our dry signal now. Now that's great. Now if you want the decay to be shorter so it doesn't linger around as much, all you need to do is bring this down. Yeah, now I would probably set it a little bit lower for me personally if I was playing blues or whatever, but that's really nice. Now, if you want a warmer sound or a brighter sound, you've got the tone control on the top over here. So that rounded it out big time once I started bringing it back off 12 o'clock. Now you can of course change the impulse response as well, which will give you a vastly different sound. So let's go into this right now. You can see that we're on spring. If you want to change it to something completely different, you can, and this will give you a vastly different sound. So let's try this. I don't even know what this is. So it's lingering around beautifully. Let's try another one. We'll do underwater. Let's crank the mix up a little bit. Now we get to the other menu on here as well. So by hitting the Alt menu, we've now got other options that we can modify. I've just changed the impulse response here to showcase the mod. So let's have a listen to this. So it adjusts the modulation that comes in on your signal. If you don't like it, you can, of course, just turn it off. And this is how it sounds. All right, let's get stuck into some tones. It's still going in the background. All right, let's go through some of the presets. I'll play most of these clean. I'll just do a handful of them so you can get a good sense of what this can do. We'll also enable the freeze button from time to time as well. Here we go. So this is the first one. Yeah, that's nice. It's really cool. I gotta say, this is like really inspiring to play. It's good fun too. I dig that freeze option, it's really cool. You spend a bit of time with this, you can probably dial in some pretty impressive sort of Pink Floyd-esque style tones. It's pretty cool. This next one's great if you're a fan of surf music. Have a listen to this. Yeah. Over to Midnight Story. I'm just going to back the mix off on this one a little bit. This is great for rhythm guitar, still with some dirt. Beautiful. Up next, we're going to change some IRs in combination with Concrete Room. So Concrete Room will be our sort of default here. Have a listen to this. We're going to change the IRs. So let's just go through a few here. Now that's obviously extremely cavernous, but again, if you want to just change the mix, you can just bring this down like that, and let's have a listen now. This basically has everything. If you're looking for an all-in-one reverb pedal that can pretty much cut it for spring, standard sort of spring reverb tones, surf spring reverb tones, cavernous ambient stuff, just about everything, this will have it in here. The learning curve is a little bit more than what you might find on just a standard sort of reverb pedal with, you know, very few options on it. But I tell you what, man, you can get so much out of this. This is just the tip of the iceberg of combinations. You could spend days going through this pedal and changing all the different impulse responses, along with obviously the standard reverbs, then changing the mix between them both and the pre-delay and all that kind of stuff. So this is crazy. It's got so much in there and it's really inspiring to play. It's kind of makes me want to create more backing tracks here for the channel. Just, you know, when I talk, I can come up with something that I can layer over the top. And the Collector Neon software works really well. They've just done a really great job integrating this with the computer if you want to use it that way. And of course, it captures other reverb tones as well. So you've got all that stuff at your disposal. This thing's a great pedal for anyone who's just looking for an all-in-one reverb that will, yeah, it just does it all. I don't know what else to say, but again, the learning curve could be a little bit challenging at the beginning, but hopefully this has helped you kind of work your way around it. It's a fun pedal. It's got so much going on. I love the fact you can also power it over USB-C. So yeah, you can power it 9 volts with the provided power supply, or directly via a USB-C port on the computer, or any sort of power delivery device as well. So that's super cool. If you want to take a look at this, I'll link it down below. Thanks again for watching. My name's Shane, and I will catch you on the next one. Subscribe and click the bell. All that kind of stuff helps. Cheers.